I'm recording and I'm going to share my screen so that we can get to the PowerPoint here. All right. We are starting the video. I know, that's because we didn't start it. All right. This is also going to be live on Facebook page so that you guys can also view it there. Good. Sure work. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, really well. All right, you're in charge. All right, guys, we are sharing the screen here. Welcome to your Total Body Transformation Challenge, guys. We have over 100 people in this challenge. Yes, it will be showing there. Yeah, it should be showing on the Facebook. Look at my screen. Is it going live? Is it still clear? All right, we're good.
I'm on the Facebook. There we are. Gotcha now.
All right, we are golden here, guys. Thank you for all your help. I gotta tell you guys, it's been a whirlwind to get to this day and to this time under these roofs. We've had an Alaskan cruise. We've kicked off this massive challenge, and bringing it all together takes an amazing team. So the first thing I'm going to do before we even get started here is give a big shout out to the team of Rincon Fit Body Bootcamp. Yeah. We've got Coach Amy over here. We've got Lexi over here. We got Brigida in the back helping us. We have Coach Michelle, Coach Mark, Coach Ryan and Bobby, Stephanie, and I don't know. I hope I'm not missing any. Oh, Megan, of course. I mean, I can't forget Megan, right? Because she's just on top of everything here. So excited to pull all this together, guys. Every pretty much beginning of a new year, summertime and fall, we run a challenge. It helps keep our members on track of their fitness, health, and wellness goals. We see fitness as kind of seasonal. Your body goes through seasonal changes. So we like to keep up with those. And then we all know life happens, right? So we have to be able to keep up with that. We need to be able to pivot. We need to be able to change and adapt and overcome to everything that's happening in our lives, right? So this is one way we like to do this for our members to help us all stay on track of our fitness, health, and wellness goals. So with all of that, welcome all of you here. Thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule to be here, to really work on you, to level up in your health, your wellness, and making that a priority for you. It's like your life insurance policy, right? For your health. This investment in your time, like you here today, when I create these orientations, like I want you to think that investment that you made was worth you sitting just in this seat right now. Like you're not even going to doubt that every penny you put into this challenge was worth it by being here today, right? Just by what you're going to hear, the motivation, the insight, the tips, all of those things, being part of something bigger than yourself. And you know, so that's the kind of stuff that goes into, you know, my mind when we're creating something like this, right? Moving on, today's agenda. Please work with me. Please work with me. No snoozing. Okay. Plan B. All right. Here we go. And I'm not sure if it's because, oh, hey. All right. Just in case you're going in there. All right. So the agenda today. What is the total body transformation challenge and how is it different? We're going to talk about that, right?
Thank you, touching.
Oh. All right, I'll trust it. There we go. And that's making a lot. All right. We're going to talk about all of your resources, your accountability tools, your success tools that are you're going to utilize through the next 6 weeks to help make fitness, health, and wealth and wellness part of your lifestyle, right? We all need that extra accountability, motivation, support. Your success tools are very important part of that. It's also part of the investment that you made into yourself over these next 6 weeks. We're going to talk about the coaching and accountability that you can expect over the next 6 weeks. The results tracking that's involved with that, because if you aren't tracking, you know, the ability to be able to track your goals makes it that much more successful in achieving those goals, right? So we want to make sure what gets tracked gets improved, right? Right. So, and then we'll do like a 6-week walkthrough and then what we're going to do next, right? So lots of good stuff to go through here and we'll get started. My goal is to get you out of here before 12. All right. So we talk about traditional diets. They don't work. Okay. As you can see here, 95% of dieters regain the weight they lost and more within 3 years. If you fall under that category, raise your hand. Okay. So that's a good 95%, I would say. And there's a lot that goes into that. Life happens. Part of some research that I've been going over lately talks about when we felt our best. We felt like we were on top of Mount Everest, right? Where life was grand, we felt great. And then you reach that peak through goals, mindfulness, and those kinds of things. But then kind of life can happen. Things change. Kids, family commitments, a career change, COVID, all of these things, financial change happen throughout life. And so you get below base camp, right? So now it's more of a struggle when you see that Mount Everest where you were, and it's harder to get there. It's harder to get to that point even than when you got there the first time, right? So we need to, you know, work and adapt to that change because it's going to look different. If you've done it before, you can't expect to get there the same way you did. It's going to take change again, right? So that's what we hope to achieve with this challenge by figuring out other things we need to change about our life to get back to that above base camp and then reaching towards that Mount Everest again, right? So raise your hand if you signed up to fail. Being that part of that 95%. Raise your hand, guys, just because that's not what we're about in here, okay? I didn't think so. Questions? And this is something, you know, I want you guys thinking about over the next 6 weeks and through the rest of 2023, for that matter. I want you thinking about who determines your environment. That's a question. You do. We do. Does the government determine your environment? Does media determine your environment? Do your friends determine your environment? Do peer pressure determine your environment? Okay. Now think about what's in your cabinets. That's your environment. What are you stocking your refrigerator with? That's your environment. What's in your bathrooms? What's in your drawers? That's your environment. You're creating that environment. What does your kitchen table look like right now? I don't want to answer that question. I've been preparing for this challenge for like 2 weeks, guys. It ain't pretty. But we are in charge of our environment. That means we put what's in that pantry, in our cabinets, in our refrigerator. We establish that. We are a result of our environment. Does anybody argue with that? Think of what's going on in the world. And what controls our cells? Do our cells control us? Exactly, right? But yet your cells are what move you throughout your day. And your cells are connected to your central nervous system, your entire biology, your brain, your organs, all of that. You control your cells through your thinking, through what you put in your body, your mind, heart, soul, physical, mental, emotional, all of that is what you put into your cell. And it's when we're conscious about those things and making those decisions about our emotions, our feelings, our mental health, our health environment, what we put in our body, that's going to determine the makeup of your cell and how it's going to push you through your day and deliver what you intentionally want to come into your world, right? Through that intention of what you put out there, right? So you determine your environment and you determine the makeup of yourself, right? Through how we treat ourselves. Like when I'm walking, you see me as a single entity, right? But I am 25 billion cells inlined in this skin, right? And they do a lot of things for me. And when it comes to this challenge, every single cell in your body has protein in it and water. And so when you hear your coaches talking about your protein and your water, that's like your fuel, right? For life. That's why they're talking about that. Every single cell has protein and water in it. So moving in, that's just the framework. That's to gather your attention, right? That's a lot of thinking right there. So what and how are we going to utilize these next 6 weeks for this? Didn't come up yet. Come on, work with me here. All right.
There we go.
All right. Okay. I woke it up. So what is the Total Body Transformation Challenge? It's a program that is designed to deliver killer results in a short period of time while teaching a sustainable approach to your nutrition and results. And it is designed to encourage you to embrace change, fully understand that we are all a product of our environment that we choose to allow ourselves to live in, and make the necessary changes to improve upon and enhance the quality of our life when it comes to our health and wellness. So if you thought you were going to come in these doors and just do a workout and eat the same way, you're not going to get the results. You're not going to get the results if you're eating the same way, and you are not going to get the results that you want if you are thinking the same way. Because 99% of your success, believe it or not, comes from your mindset and how you're going to do the necessary things and encouraging yourself, talking to yourself, and pushing yourself through in a way that's going to get through the struggle, get through the changes, get through your mind saying, I suck at this the first week. Like all of that stuff is a normal human response, but we have to kind of overcome these things with a consciousness that's smarter than our body, who's, has that crocodile mentality, right? So moving on. At the same time, getting through the mindset, going through the struggle, we try to make things as simple as possible for you too, right? We want to make this process as simple as possible for you to be successful and achieve your fat loss results and your lean muscle building, right? And so in our philosophy here, the bottom part, the most important part of your fitness foundation is it has to be sustainable. It has to be easy. You have to work it and build those habits and structure into your routine so you don't have to think about it. But that takes time. Like, it's not going to happen overnight. It's taken years to get you to the point that we're all at right now. So you have to be patient, right? So that is the key initially. We're building that sustainable foundation. And then we need to work with a caloric deficit if your goal is fat loss. Some people come into our challenges and they just want maintenance. They've achieved their goals and now they just want to maintain. And so that may be, maybe they're not in a caloric deficit. Maybe they're just maintaining, right? But if your goal is fat loss, you have to be in a caloric deficit to lose fat. So we're going to help you with that. Your coaching app is part of that, right? And your meal plan is going to support you through that. But you have to take in less calories a day than your body needs in that day, right? Because if you don't, you're not going to lose body fat. And then, of course, we need to get protein in. There's so many benefits of protein, right? And why we talk about this so much is because most people do not get enough protein in their day, just based on the way society lives these days and how carb friendly our world has become, or I would say in the United States. It is responsible for our obesity epidemic. It is responsible for our diabetes epidemic, and it is responsible for our high cholesterol, which is becoming an epidemic in this country. All right, those kinds of things. So by working in the right amount of protein into our diet and routine is going to help make us feel more satiated throughout our day, give us more energy in our day. It is thermogenic, so it actually helps your body burn more calories through its day. Plus, you're getting a nice balance of branched chain amino acids, which we have what at least 20 varieties of those that we need to do different things, to building muscle and to, well, fill our 25 trillion cells. So it's an important part of our program, and that's why we talk about it so much. Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay. So we have a philosophy here, and it's coming up. Come on, you can, yay. I gotta like massage it a little bit. All right, so we have what is called the finite game and the infinite game, and we talk about this a lot. And so, you know, when you're thinking about our goal here really is to incorporate the habits into our daily routine where we don't have to think about them, right? So in the finite game, we're focused on a specific result. In the infinite game, we're focused on transforming from the inside out so you can take the weight off and keep it off. So we're not going to be part of that 95%, right? We're just going to kind of keep this momentum going for as long as we can till we take our last breath. A short-term program, it just ends. There's no end date in our infinite game. A finite game has strict rules. We have structured for nutrition flexibility, right? The infinite game restricts the binge while we create a plan that doesn't require cheating, right? No yo-yo dieting. We have that accountability and support to keep that momentum going. We're focused on habits and routines, not an after photo. We all want a great after photo, right? but it's more about how we feel and what is our energy like and how are our clothes fitting us at the end, right? And we want to be able to have a plan of action as well at the end of the 6 weeks. And you should walk away knowing what that is today as well. So we will get into that. So when we talk about how to be successful, and we're going to go through your material here. So you have a lot of asset material. Raise your hand if you've read through it. The success manual, gotten into your meal plan, your grocery list, and your documents and things, your goals sheet and all of that stuff. And then of course the recipe manual. Well, we're going to start with the success manual here. Now we're going to kind of like get into what these things are and how they help you. It's your guide to start taking necessary steps towards self-care. Some of you are going to find it's really not the meal plan that's going to, like, based on your custom needs, there's different things in life that actually are going to support your goals. And a lot of those are covered in your success manual, like making sure you get enough water, like making sure you get enough sleep. I would say more than 50% of our population is chronically sleep deprived. And that goes into habits that we've acquired, watching TV till we fall asleep, just whatever it is, right? And that creates cortisol, stress. We don't get a good night's sleep. Maybe we toss and turn all night. Maybe it's a matter of our daily habits that interfere and interrupt with our sleep. But sleep is very important when it comes to healing your body. It is one of the biggest things when it comes to your brain health as you age, when it comes to Alzheimer's and those kinds of things. And more research is coming out about that, right? So your success manual kind of helps with all those other things that are involved with wellness, right? And we've built that into it based on years and years of, running these challenges. And it could be that one thing of getting a good night's sleep that's going to really propel people to get the results that they want and need. And then fat loss and lean muscle development is much more than just eating right and working out. It's about creating a sustainable way of life. And this guide is really what can help you do that. It's the foundation for getting into the challenge. Did you all find it helpful learning about the different your protein, carbs, and fats? Because we all need those. And when you eat a balanced diet, you want to have a good blend of those protein, carbs, and fats in pretty much all of your meals to help give you the right amount of energy throughout your day and to feed your body to, honestly, have a strong immune function, right? You want to enhance your immunity to disease. That's what food does for you. Let food be thy medicine, medicine be thy food. Part 2 of your asset material is your meal plan and grocery list. You'll find that if you follow this meal plan to the T, that's the folks that will have the best results in this program. The only modification from the meal plan that you will make and want to make is ensuring that you are getting the right amount of protein portions in each meal. Okay, so that's the only adjustment. The menu plan is a guide for you, but it's not customized for every single person in this room. Look at everybody. Look around the room. We're all different. I've given you the groundwork with the meal plan, but you have to be commonsensical when it comes to your portions, right? So you have to just find out if you're struggling with it, reach out to know what the right portions are for you, right? And then knowing your hunger, right? Following the portion sizes versus following your hunger. So we have Gary here, right?
Yeah.
Gary. He's gonna follow the detox soup, you know, on Monday and Tuesday and those things. Trust me, he's not gonna want to follow the portion size. He's probably gonna at least double it. And he may even want to add a little protein to it if he's doing these workouts. So, you know, if you follow it and you're still hungry, you need to eat more. Because yes, Chris.
I'm wondering, is there a general rule to go by, like, is there maybe protein should make up 2/3 of your plate when you're eating a full meal? Is there something like that that can help us with our protein portions?
So we'll talk about that, but your protein, if you're following your macronutrients, which you're all going to get assigned to you in the app, so you'll know how much protein to get each day, right? But the general rule of thumb, if you're going off of if you're not choosing to measure, everyone can do what you want in this, but it's about the size of your palm. So I would say on average, I would say at least a minimum of 4 to 5 ounces per females in this room, or 6 to 8 ounces for men. So but to know, and I've given you in the guide, and we're going to talk about it today because I want to make sure everybody understands this. You're wanting to get about however many pounds of a person you are if you're between 100 and 175 grams of protein per day. So you can average that out. If you're 175 or more, then you multiply your weight by 0.7. And that's going to give you the roundabout average around. And we're going to talk about that. So that's how you do that. Is that helpful? Okay, good. And then meeting your protein goal, and then pick what day for meal preparation. That is key. Like, you have to schedule that in. To be successful, you can't continue to just randomly figure out what you're going to eat every day and expect to get the results that you want. You have to do your meal prep. It's very hard in this challenge to follow the meal plan and just go randomly day to day. It takes too much time. You actually end up saving so much time by picking one or some. Most people do like 2 days of meal prep. They'll do a majority of it on Sunday. That's our meal prep day. And then maybe on Wednesday or Thursday, they may have to just do a little extra on that day. Does that make sense? What is that? Oh, that's not me, is it? Is that me? I sound weird. I hear myself here, but on that, I don't like it. Oh my God. Pick what day for the meal prep. Okay, and then you can also save a lot in bulk, right? So if you go to Costco or even like Sprouts, for a lot of your items, you can, that is very helpful too. Does anybody else have any suggestions on places they like to shop in bulk?
Just
Okay, good to know. Yeah. Yeah, right. All right, moving on. Part 2. Yay, it moved. All right, so this is where I was talking about it. It talks about how protein is the most critical macronutrient, and it's very thermogenic. Takes a lot of energy to break it down. And then it talks about, as you as an individual here, how you want to decide how many are required for you each day, right? So I use myself as an example. And then Michelle, Coach Michelle, she weighs 220 pounds, so I used her, right? And so she multiplied it by 2.7. And so that's 154. Very doable to get in 154 grams of protein. That's for everyone, right? So yes, absolutely. So pardon me? Yeah, so what you would do, it depends on what you're eating too. So like chicken has a different amount of grams versus beef and those kinds of things. So you'll have to know what it is. But on average, like, I eat 4 solid meals a day. I have 140 grams. Say if I eat, so what I'll do is I'll make sure that I have at least 30 grams of protein in every meal. Multiply that by 4, it's 120. And then I'll have at least a smoothie. I'll supplement my protein with the smoothie. And then easy schmeezy, my day is complete. And so you have to kind of work it into that structure. Know how many meals that you're going to be eating throughout the day and know how many grams of protein you want to have in each meal to meet your quota. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Very good. I think of ounces, so show that just different groups.
It isn't really. So it just depends on what it is. So yeah, you can probably like ask that question in Google and it'll tell you, but I can't really tell you that actually off the top of my head because there's different grams of, say, if you have chicken, that's about, if I had 4 ounces of that, it's going to give me about 25 grams of protein. If it's beef and I have 4 ounces, it's going to give me closer to 30. So that's how I think of ounces based on different types of protein. So when I'm weighing it, so it just depends. Yeah. Yes, Amy. Yes. Right. And so that's a good point. Once we start the first week, like when, and we'll talk about it when we get to the app, because I'm going to cover that here today. The first week you'll be playing with the macro calculator and getting used to your food and putting your favorites in there and that kind of thing. So we'll talk about that. Good point, Amy. Thank you.
Is when you cook your food, it's like when it's lean, it's less than when it's cooked. No, it's more. I can't remember which it is. But when are we supposed to be weighing? When it's uncooked or cooked?
Oh, when it's cooked. You
Okay.
weigh your meat. That's a great question, Beth. Thank you. Because when you okay, so when you buy your meat or chicken or poultry and fish and things like that, on the package, it's going to tell you how many grams of protein are in it before cooking. So when you cook it, it does change. So when you are adding it to your app, or it's a selection, if you type in cod, Alaskan cod, you want to put baked or broiled. So it will remanufacture that version of it, you know, so it's not at the bag. It's probably not a huge difference if you scan the package and you want to just live life simple, which is what I would do, to be honest. But it just depends on how specific you want to be. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So we are on 3 here. And so stats tracking and goal setting documents. You guys all take a look at those. They're in there. So what I recommend with the goal sheet is that you print it out and fill it out and keep it somewhere where you're going to be able to look at it every day. Because you're going to have bad days and life's going to get crazy and then you're going to forget about it. And you want to be really focused, conscious, and intentional about what your goals specifically are. And when it says why, go why 5 times. Let me ask my friend Lori here. We were on an Alaskan cruise together. Lori, why did you join this challenge?
You feel better?
Why do you want to feel better, Lori?
Oh, so I can enjoy another cruise. And my feet don't swell up like cantaloupes.
Oh, that's a good reason. So why is it important for you to go on another cruise and be able to have more mobility during that time?
So much easier to get around and navigate, and just having sustainability like you talk about, it will really enrich my life.
So in this last cruise, what was it that, put that thought in your head that I got to do this challenge?
I was overweight on one of the excursions, so I had to cancel it. So that really encouraged me to bring my best self forward
Mhm.
and do better.
What at the end of the 6 weeks is gonna tell you that this has been a success?
Maybe lose a little bit of body fat, but I really want to see my body change, and I don't really necessarily have to see that scale change to do that.
Mhm.
Although that would be a really welcome addition to it.
Awesome. So you get my point, like go deep. That was awesome. Thank you so much, Lori, for being vulnerable and like sharing that with, because that's not an easy thing to do. Appreciate it. So we all have that Y times 5, right? And you kind of got to go to that next level. And there's some more in this presentation that's going to kind of really epitomize that. And you're going to kind of like have an aha moment. But at the same time, you guys in that material, you have your tracking sheet. So that is a guide for you. I find like when you write things down too, it's more tangible. We're like we used to do, we remember things better, easier that way, less distraction from your cell phone and those kinds of things. So have your goal sheet, right next to it, you want to have your tracking sheet. It's a tangible thing. You don't lose sight of it. You don't be sidetracked with distractions. And then each week, like we do your first and your last, but in the middle, you guys will be weighing yourself at home. And you'll do your before picture and your after picture. You'll put that in your app as well. And then there's some really good information in there about substitutions and things like that. And you guys all are part of the InBody app now, so you're going to see a lot more in that app about your body than just what's on the printout, if some of you guys got the printout. So you can refer to that, and then you'll want to see those changes in 6 weeks. So it'll show you in graphs like where your numbers are going, and it's a great motivator. So if you find you're not at where you want to be with your body fat, like set a goal. If you're somewhere like in the 140s, try to get under 40. If you're somewhere like if you're above 45, try to get under 45. If you're somewhere above 40, get under 40. If you're somewhere between 35 and 40, get under 35. Set that little goal for yourself, right? And write that on your goal sheet. And if it's muscle you're trying to build, know what your muscle is. That's another reason why we spend a lot of time talking about protein, is because that's what maintains your muscle that you have now, but will also start to build it. And muscle is not easy to build. And it does also require carbohydrates, like complex carbohydrates. That's what actually fuels you through your workouts so that you build more muscle. So it's a combination of those things. It's not just protein. Don't get me wrong, because I talk about it a lot, but you do need those healthy complex carbs in your nutrition plan too. They are what give you your vitamins and minerals to also help support a strong immune function. And then we have our recipe manual coming up. And have you guys had an opportunity to go through your massage? I have no idea why I just said that. Your recipe manual, you will find then that's where we talk about let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. Guys, that's Hippocrates talking. This is like thousands of years ago. People knew this shit. Excuse my French. Like, come on with it. It's unfortunate that they weren't faced with our convenience stores and aisles of processed shit, right? They knew they needed that lamb or that goat and that green stuff growing on the ground to survive and thrive, right? We didn't have the challenges that we have today, all right? But they knew that what they put in their body is what they get out of their body. It's very simple, right? And on top of it all, for men and women, not just women, we need to balance our hormones. So much of like menopause is not just because we're getting old. It's because of the wine we drink every night to 1 o'clock, 5 or Friday or whatever it is, right? Come on now, be smart. I would say, you know, so much of menopause is because we eat the garbage we ate when we were in our 20s and 30s, and our bodies just are tired of it. They're stressed out. They don't get enough sleep. They work too much. They do too much. And it's just a side effect. They can't keep up with it anymore. So they start to break down, right? And there's some studies that I was reading, about raise your hand if you're a woman and you've gotten night sweats or hot flashes and those kinds of things, right? So that's a potentially a response, a natural response that your body learns to develop to target and go after disease in your body like cancer. Okay. But what do the doctors do? They load you up with hormones, right? And so then your body doesn't get the heat that it needs to prevent the disease. And that's why you get breast cancer. So there's like a lot of things going on in the world that we don't always know about, right? But your body is an incredibly intelligent being. It knows it needs to like heal you. And if it gets hot at night, maybe it's just trying to help you, because at night and when we have these hot flashes, it's when our body's recovering. It's when it's trying to heal you, because that's technically supposed to be your rest time, right? So it's like your time for your body to recover you after your day and prepare you for the next day, right? Does that make sense? So that's why we want to detox our body, mind, and soul, right? And we want to have those nutrients dense foods that are also slower digesting, right? So what that's going to do is it's going to help you feel satiated longer. So you don't get these cravings. You feel more energy throughout your day. You don't get these dulps and lulls and crave caffeine and sugar and all of that stuff, because with the slower digesting complex carbs and proteins and fats that work together, they love each other. And then when the protein, carbs, and fats blend together, they actually create more nutrients when they blend and you chew, and then your saliva mixes it together, and then it creates like more good vitamins and minerals by those combinations, right? So they love each other, and that's why you feel so good and like aid your digestion rather than getting these cramps or bloated inflammation, right? It's called nutrient dense foods, which is part of your meal plan, and you'll see it in your recipe manual, right? It's going to complement each other. And it's designed, we try to trick you. We bring you in here thinking you're going to lose body fat, but really what we want to do is strengthen your immune system. We want you to be healthy people and feel good, because too many of the people in the world today feel like feeling like shit is normal. And it's not. Because I used to feel like shit when I was a detective running around and not knowing when I was going to get my next meal and getting called out in the middle of the night and running through drive-thrus chronically. I felt like garbage too. But I knew it had to stop, and that's why I started following Bedros Keuilian. And I knew that I wanted to be, in fitness and help people be inspired to live their life. And he was a great mentor, and he's the CEO of FitBody. And so after about 3 to 5 years of following him, lo and behold, there's Rincon FitBody Bootcamp, because I was tired of feeling like shit as a detective. And I knew that I wanted to help everyone else out here, because we always showed up after the fact at a crime. The crime and the violence had already happened. So we couldn't prevent it necessarily unless someone knew the cops were showing up, right? And then they run. So I wanted to support the teachers, the medical professionals, the mental health professionals, the engineers, the people out there changing the world, live more a better quality of a life so that you can go out there and you can impact the leaders of Tucson and East Tucson and grow be the role model and leader in your family to raise that family and to be a positive role model for everybody else that's around you, even in the line at the grocery store, right? So it's about being healthy and knowing that feeling like garbage is not a normal thing. It doesn't have to be anyway. And it's about our environment and what we choose to allow in that environment and not take or even think that we don't have that control, because we are the ones who have that control of our environment. You know, we don't have to take what's being delivered. We have the ability to choose, right? So it's about being healthy, and it comes down to those simple principles. So having strong immune function, healthy metabolism, that is going to encourage your body to burn fat all day long. You guys come in here for 30 minutes, you do an afterburn workout that is designed to and encourage your body to burn fat for the next 20 to 30 hours. If you leave here and you eat a whole bunch of pizza and beer, you are going to continue to gain fat and lose muscle because of these workouts. Because your body is going to devour your muscle after you leave because you haven't had any protein. You've had alcohol that interrupts your body's ability to digest nutrients into your gut and intestines, and you're going to get fatter because it's going to all get stored on you as fat. All right. So that's the kind of stuff that happens. And we as coaches would be setting you up for failure if we didn't explain this to you. Now, after hearing it, if you want to go do it, that's your choice. But our hope is that you want to live a more inspired, healthy lifestyle. And that's what actually brought you through our doors. So we need to be able to ensure that you're filling your body with fuel that is going to help prepare you for your workout, propel you through your workout, and recover you from your workout. That's the whole point of this program when it comes down to nutrition. It's all designed around your workout, because your workout is what's going to break your current position down and build it up from where it is right now. That's what is going to happen. Your workout is going to do that. But you have to fill it with the right things to make that change, right? Does that make sense? Good. Moving on. We also realize that things don't change overnight. There we go. It's coming. Yep. Come on. There we go. And we want to talk about progression. All right. So it's going to take time for you guys to all learn this material, right? And it takes, time to sit down, digest everything and kind of absorb it, right? All of the material. So the ability to stick with the program increases when we start with less and then we build up, right? It's the science of habit and behavior change. It's kind of like going back to school a little bit. We create the program with daily and so we help you kind of learn everything by sending out emails every day. You're going to get an email that is going to help communicate some of the stuff that's going on in your program, and also provide you with extra motivation and accountability. It's also going to be posted in the Facebook group. So you're going to get the same email in Facebook too. So that, because some people like emails, some people don't like Facebook. So we make sure everybody gets it, right? And it's going to help kind of coach the stage that we're in during the program. And it's a guide for you. So what I would suggest is you plan every morning to read that email and make that your priority of the day, because that email is designed to start your day in a positive mindset, in a way where you can tackle any obstacle that is going to come your way, no matter what it is, knowing you will get through whatever obstacle it is stronger, right? But you have to read that email and, absorb it, right? So we want to eliminate any opportunity for overwhelm and ensue and failure to sprint, right? So we want to make sure that we're setting you up for success, right? We don't want you to feel overwhelmed, because it is a lot of stuff. You have to be patient with yourself to digest everything. And when you get frustrated, which is normal, to be honest, when you're doing anything new, you may fail 15 times, but it's those 15 failures are what is actually you're going to learn from and pick yourself back up from and get it done. All of you have experienced that because you're here today. We've all picked ourselves up before, probably hundreds of thousands of times. It's how we learn most times. So know that that's probably going to happen over the next 6 weeks, and that's okay. And expect it. When you expect it, it's more about learning and doing, and then getting it right over time, right? Does anybody have a better way of explaining that? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Good. So don't be hard on yourself is what I'm trying to say. Like, we're all human and there's no such thing as perfection. Okay. Even here, like I hear all day long, oh, you should have done this, or you should have done that. Whoa, thank you for your feedback. That's why we get better every time we do it. But go with the flow. Meet yourself and us at our level and be okay with it, right? Come on, you can do it. So we have resources with the Total Body Transformation Challenge, and that's your app, your coaching app. We want to keep the plan simple, and we want to be able to progress through our daily tasks that build upon our habits and routine. Come on, you can do it. All right, I think I'm going to switch over because I want to get faster in this. Yeah. So we're going to get into the app. All right, I'm going to give you one more try. So this is, raise your hand. I sent out an email today because we were revising some of the material in the coaching app. If you got your email, you should all have been invited to a Trainerize, our coaching app. And you've been assigned the Total Body Transformation Challenge as your program, right? Good. Yeah. Okay. So if anybody has an issue, have you done a challenge before? No? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So maybe there's 2, but if you still don't, then meet with one of us at the end of this and we'll take care of it. So we have it's a very great coaching app. It's backed by a coaching portal that we can communicate with you through. Okay. Your custom calorie and macro targets will be set in there for you, and you will be able to track it. when you're getting used to it, there is a video that you can watch to help familiarize you with it as well. Your food tracking is built into it. So as you become comfortable adding your food and tracking, that may not happen till week 2 or even 3. You can track it in a very accurate database there. And then you can have favorites and things like that. So you can easily go back to it and add it each day. And it's all in one place. So you're going to check out your workout of the day. You're going to check out some habits that we've created for you. And then you will check off your meal plan and stuff like that as we progress through it. And then if you all have it, you can open it up and just make sure you add your profile picture to it. Okay. And then you'll be able to sign up, and we recognize you through your email and name. So you've already been invited. Some of these things we've changed over time, so it's become more simplified for all of you. And just spend the next week really playing with it. It's pretty awesome. When you do set it up, make sure you turn on notifications, because you will get messages. And you want to make sure you're notified of them, as long as you're okay with it, like, because there'll be communication going back and forth. Sometimes your macros may be updated, and so you'll want to check on that when it happens. Okay. Sometimes I send out a group text of something or message for people who aren't always on Facebook. This is like another extra way of communication. Now you're working. So on here you can see, like, you can connect it with your app, your watch, so it'll track your steps. You'll have your body weight, all your measurements you'll put in here. And so each week you can update them. And so when I see a big change in, like, say week 3 or 4 of your weight and it goes down, then I'm going to want to adjust your calories, right? And your macros. So they may go up or down based on your changes by week 3, or probably closer to 4, right? So be updating those on your home scale. And then like here it'll come up, but you can connect your Apple Watch, your Fitbit. I think they're going to be starting, there's like a Google watch or something that's coming out, but right here it says watch getting started video. That's in the settings section of the app, and you'll want to watch that. Okay, it's going to help familiarize you with the different things.
It shows 4 currently.
No, just the Apple, the Fitbit. You can connect to MyFitnessPal, but I want you actually tracking your food with the app, with this app. But what were you saying?
It's only showing Fitbit, MyFitnessPal, Withings, and Garmin.
That's in Apple. And so when you press on Apple, it is there. I can show you on mine. It should show Apple. Do you have an Apple Watch? Oh, okay. What? A Samsung, a Google. Okay. So they're getting ready to update that. I just saw a video on it. So I think I'll check into that for you. Becoming more and more popular. Yes. No, it doesn't. You have to just update your body fat percentage and your weight.
Carol, of the activities that they let you add
Mhm.
in your activity
Yeah.
thing, do you think that fitness class or high intensity interval is more appropriate for like our 30-minute workouts?
So I have in there that you check off your afterburn workout every day. That should be one of your habits in there that you check off if you go under that. Does that make sense? But if you don't, like, you can add that to it. High intensity interval training would be what you select. Does that make sense?
It does. I'll have to find it all.
I think I put afterburn workout every day as something you guys check off. Yeah, you should see that. Under calendar, exactly, under your calendar. So we have, your coaching and accountability comes from your email, your Facebook posts. You'll want to do that first thing in the morning. The reason I say that is because how many of you guys wake up? How many of you guys wake up to an alarm? How many of you guys hit the snooze button when the alarm goes off?
No, just turn it off.
You just turn it off and go back to bed. You're like, forget. Okay. So Bedros Keuilian, the CEO, well, the founder, he's no longer of Fit Body Boot Camp. I've been to many of his conferences and I've met him. He's a friend of mine. So one of the things that he said when I first met him was when you press the snooze button, your body, that's a habit that you're building. Like you just do that automatically, right? You've built it up where it's like boom. And that's like with everything in life. When you hit that snooze button, basically you're hitting snooze on your goals, your dreams, your ambitions, and your life, right? And so that's an unconscious signal you're sending to your brain, right? So when I'm asking you to read that email first thing in the morning, that's what's in my thought for you, because I don't want you hitting the snooze button on this program, because that's what it means to me as your coach. That means you're hitting the snooze button on the Total Body Transformation Challenge. And that's a no-no. And that's coming from your coach. And I'm telling you that right now. So read the email. It's designed to kickstart your day on a positive start, making changes towards your health, wellness, and fitness, whether you know it or not. Like that's the intention behind it. And then with added accountability, we you can ask any questions in Facebook. Don't be shy. You can message me through that app. And I will try to get back with you within 24 hours, if not sooner. And then for this challenge, every Wednesday at 7 p.m., I've committed to having a Zoom for anybody to come in. I'll have a topic I'm going to talk about for about 10 or 15 minutes. If that's possible, because I am long-winded. But I'm also there to answer any questions that you have about the challenge, right? Whatever you're struggling with. 7 p.m. every Wednesday night. All right. Does that sound good? And you're going to get a Zoom link in an email that will help you get to that if you have time and you want. I'm not recording it, but it's just for you. Tracking in progress. You have your in-body scans, your before and afters. You'll upload those into Trainerize. And you, I recommend actually playing with Trainerize the whole first week, getting used to it. And then in week 2, you actually start tracking if you want to track. Now, you don't have to track. You can go off of the meal plan and just listening to your body, how full it is. I realize not everybody has time to track. I don't have time to track. There's been times where I have, where I haven't. It's helped me live a life where I don't have to track because I've done it so much. I know how many grams of protein are in pretty much every single food on the planet. And I also know how to eat where I can monitor my hunger, and I know how to create a healthy portion size for myself. But if you're still learning those things, then you might want to track or just go off your hunger, eat till you're about 80% full and go from there. But you have to do the work. You have to do the work. We don't do it for you. We provide you with tools to do it, but it takes time. It takes intention and it takes work to do it. And so, and it's not easy. Like we understand that, but it becomes easier. Know that it will become easier. And then if you're checking off your daily habits in the coaching app, right? I'm going to see that whether you're doing it or not. So, you know, it's up to you to do it. I may comment, but it's really up to you to check it off if it's something that you're working on. If I say meet your protein goal every day and that's part of your habits, then and you're not checking it off, I'm going to assume you're eating enough protein. But at the end of the 6 weeks, if I look at your scan and you lost 2 pounds of muscle, I gotta know you ain't eating your protein. It ain't happening, right? So, right, Amy? That's the stuff we talk about all the time. So, what's next? This is simple. You have your InBody scan. You update your app with your weight, your body fat percentage, and your photo. And then you by the end of Sunday, you should have booked your first 3 sessions or more for next week. Like that is telling yourself subconsciously, you're not thinking about your workout. They're already set. I'm just going to show up. It's not am I going to be there or not? Do I feel like it or not? It's, I'm going to be there. It's already set. I don't have to think about it. And your feet are on this mat at 4:30 a.m. or whatever is your time. You don't negotiate with yourself. You tell yourself what you're going to do. That's what it's going to take for you to get the results you want to take at the end of the 6 weeks. And then you prepare for the week ahead. And you complete your habits each week, right? So you get those prerequisites done. You set your workout attire out the night before. You have your gym bag set to go. You got your meal prep done. Those things you're building into your routine. You have your goal sheet done, and you're putting it out in a place where you're going to see it. You're drinking no less than half your body weight in ounces of water a day, and you're getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep. These are your prerequisites. I can guarantee you almost, like, if you're not drinking half your body weight in ounces of water a day as a coach, I know you're not completing your meal plan. If you can't do the little things that we try to build on, like, it's hard to follow a meal plan if you can't drink half your body. So maybe this first week, I'll try to do as much as I can with the meal plan, but I'm going to guarantee I'm going to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, and I'm going to drink half my body weight in ounces of water a day. So you're building these things up over time. It's not going to be perfect in the beginning, but over time, it's going to get better and better. Are you with me there? You like understand where I'm coming from? Yeah. And then you got to trust the process. This better work.
I have a stupid question.
Come on. Yeah. Tammy?
And you're doing like, one of the meals. How do you know how much you're getting with the chicken? Like, are you just using one chicken breast and making sure you're eating that one chicken breast that is mixed in with the vegetables or whatever the case may be?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So you can kind of measure out how much regular chicken you're putting in, like the soups and things like that. Like, are you talking about soups?
Yes.
Like, yeah, so those kinds of things, it's a little bit harder to, like, in a prepared meal that's like a stew or a soup or a casserole or those kinds of things. But you have to just make sure you're putting enough chicken in there. So like a pound is so many ounces.
Okay.
So you can measure out a pound. If you need more, you might need 2 or 3 pounds to make it last for the whole week. And then you know about on average when you get through it, whatever that 3 pounds is, if it's just you eating it or you're sharing it half with the family, you know about how many portions or ounces it's going to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, usually what I do is like maybe the third
Come
meal,
on.
I'm adding more protein, to compensate what I think I didn't have in that, soup or whatever.
All right, it's coming through. Yes. Okay, thank you. Do you have to push something or will it keep going? Okay, good. So this is the Terminator. You guys remember that scene from the Terminator? It's not as clear as I want it to be. It's much clearer here if you want to look at it on my laptop. But the culmination of this event is going to be the Terminator workout. We like to incentivize, your time here and your workouts. When you're here, you're not just like pushing weight, you're building a strong mind and body. So at the end of this program, we like to have a different type of workout for you on a Saturday, right? Where you will come in here and you'll show yourself and go, it's going to be a little bit harder. It's going to be a different kind of workout. And so basically you're going to be shredding all of that fear of the next 6 weeks. You're going to crush that doubt. You're going to get rid of any worry that's going on in your world. You're going to be building yourself up, getting so much confidence in your abilities, and you're going to be shedding any judgment toward yourself, toward anyone else, or what you think is going, or what in your mind is telling you other people are thinking about you, and any self-doubt. It's gonna be gone. And so on that day, week 6, when we do that Terminator workout, you are just gonna obliterate it, right? That's what we're talking about. The theme for this challenge, and we have a theme, is we have won this challenge, but we are never done. We have won it, but we are never done. So with that, we've created a shirt. So if you want to purchase the shirt, and we would love for everybody, the coaches will have it. We will wear it at the Terminator, and we will show ourselves that fear, worry, doubt, self-esteem, confidence, and those kinds of things are no longer part of our equation, right? And so with that, we also have a bundle package here for you guys. If you are in need of protein pre-workout or anything, buy 2 or more items, you get 15% off. There's a form over there the girls can help you with. But more importantly, what I really want to get to here, guys, and this isn't moving as fast as I hoped. Come on.
Carl, is that today only or anytime during the?
It's just it's today, maybe through Monday, because some of the people aren't here. But yes, so we're always thinking ahead. And so our next challenge for the fall, it's going to be like an 8-week challenge for you guys. It's called Mission Impossible. It is going to be a different challenge. Our fall challenge is different from our summer challenge. Our summer challenge is different from our New Year challenge. But what we're incentivizing you here for your time spent, as long as you guys don't lose any muscle on this challenge, and you lose up to 2% of your body fat, you'll save $50 on our fall challenge. Our members challenges aren't really that, I mean, we don't like to charge. As a member, you'll get off. But guys, that's a good deal right there. $50 savings of what probably the same price you paid for this. but we're incentivized and we want you to get those results. We like 2% body fat is a little over 0.5% a week. You can do that, right? You can do that by just following that nutrition plan, getting in here every week for, at least 3 or more times a week for your workouts. I always say 4 is optimal. And then maybe, we'll be giving you little challenges throughout the challenge, like get out there, walk a little bit, just get extra movement in your day, park farther away from the grocery store, little things like that, right? So, but we are actually, I'm already thinking about this challenge. It's going to be a great challenge. I'm excited to do it in the fall. And then we always schedule it so it ends right before Thanksgiving. And then it's like, hello holidays. And we're going to have an amazing like fitness challenge that's going to be, associated with it at the end of it. So it's more like a terrain race, so to speak. Last year it was the Suckfest Rally. How many of you guys did that? Anyone in here participate in our Suckfest Rally? That was fun. Does anybody have any questions? Hopefully this has been helpful for you. Hopefully it's like really part of that foundation, setting the stage for the next 6 weeks. I hope you got a lot out of it. And I can't wait for Monday to kick off, guys. So spend the rest of this weekend preparing. If you have any questions, get in the Facebook group. And for those people with trainer eyes, come see us and we'll make sure you're set up, ready to go. The weigh-in. Oh, it's the Friday and Saturday.
The detox soup, is that something we buy at a store?